Welcome back to Going Off Grid My Way. Sorry I haven't posted anything in a little while. I've been having phone issues. Like I said in the past, I don't get signal at the house with the service that I had. So I tried to go and get a new service. And I talked to them before I got it, and they told me that I would get good service out here. And before I even got home, there was absolutely none. By the time I made it home, the place was closed. It was an hour drive or so. I went back today after work. That was yesterday. And I told them, I said I have no service at my house. This phone's useless to me. And they told me that I'm not getting my money back. And the guy who told me that got fired last night. So, apparently I'm stuck with this phone for at least the next month. So I can't guarantee how soon the videos will show up, but I will do my best. But anyways, let's do an update. Those aluminum gutters that I found, I'm going to cut one to fit the pig pen. I'm going to cut one to fit the chicken coop, and I'm going to take the leftover and put it on the duck pen. I did pull a piece of fence from here all the way across here just to fence this in. Kendra, the sand is for the bottom. Don't touch it. Put it down there and leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's not for throwing. It's to keep the grass down. I also got this all cleaned up back here and hung a string line so I could mark the property line and get exact lines. Finally pulled this trailer out, so when I was doing that lines to clear it off. But as you can see, the hub for the wheel that's in here snapped right off, and I had to drag that one out of the woods. This was about a month ago if you watched my previous videos. And as I was dragging that one out, this one blew out. So I still have to fix that. The kids and the neighbor kids decided they were going to clean up back here past the property line, and they wanted to play stuff out there, which I'm completely fine with because then it's not going to destroy my grass. But I also put a line over here. I'll go stand over here and you can see what I mean by the fence line was crooked when I put it up. Like I said, it was just to get it up, but as you can see, it's all over back and forth, so we'll be straightening that out here soon. I talked to somebody at work, and he's going to have some fence for me tomorrow. So hopefully it's enough to do most of that back, if not all of it. As far as the garden goes, there's beans popping up. They're just coming up, so you're probably not going to see them on my camera. But the radishes you can kind of see coming up. It's just this first row and partial second row. So the chickens have been in here, so I'm going to have to put that dirt back. But anyways, since I haven't had any money to do anything, and I am working that other job, so I am working 7 days a week right now. So like I said, I don't know how often I'll be able to post videos, but I need the extra money so that I can progress here. Tomorrow, I will be going to get one of the 2x12s, possibly two of them, and get those put in place. And then I can at least continue on with the floor and go from there. I did gut the fireplace area in the house, and I tore up the slapped together fiberboard flooring that was in there. It was all moldy. I also pulled out a bunch of insulation and drywall. Everything that they had done was completely wrong and was a disaster, and I'm lucky the place didn't catch a fire the way they had it set up. But that is all tore out and cleaned up. We're not using the wood stove right now until probably till winter time again. So that's another project inside. I figure I'll get on that and get some of the garbage out of here a little bit at a time, because I can only fill up one can, and that's all they'll take a week. So I got that out of there this week. The rest of it's in the can for next week. But today I slapped together a solar panel stand. I didn't really measure anything. I just kind of slapped together with a bunch of scraps that I had. I'll probably be cutting this off here and putting the board there eventually. But they're only 100 watts a piece. There's 3 of them, so that's just to get me started. I do have something in the works for as far as a wind generator stand. Possibly free, or do a little trade and bartering, however you want to call it. But I believe it's 30 or 40 foot tall tower. It's currently being used for just an antenna tower, but I believe I can use it for a wind generator. Considering there's pretty good wind here every day, just about, being Michigan as it is, the skies, not ever really 100% clear. So I figure if we can supplement some of what we're not getting from the light, we can get from the wind, because there's plenty of wind. I will probably mount it at the end of the house at some point, probably when the house is done with the addition. That way I got a clear crosswind above the roof. That should give me plenty of breeze. So, like I said, it'll probably be taller than that pine tree right there. I haven't measured it. It's still attached to the guy's house, so we're working on that still. Just basically waiting on him to get around to being ready to tear it down, and then we will figure out some trade or barter or whatever. So I haven't done a lot. I'll take you in the greenhouse. We got quite a bit going on in there. You can see all the let me see if I can zoom in here. The rabbits are out in their pen. They're finally used to it, and fighting over water bottles at the moment. But yeah, they're happy as could be. I've had them together now for almost a month, and I've yet to notice any of them being pregnant. So let me zoom out here. But yeah, the grass is filling in pretty good. I need to reseed again here soon. I'm still working on trying to figure out how to get the new well. I'm running low on water in the tank attached to the house and in here. But as you can see, the potato plants has got more sprouts again and doing well. The beans are all growing good. The strawberries, there's quite a few strawberries hanging here already. I figure about another week or two and we should have fresh strawberries. They are still flowering, so they're doing really good now that I got them spread out and growing in pots. Parsley's almost doubled in size. The beans, like I said, they're doing pretty decent. We did have a frost the other night. I can't tell if it got here or not. Some of these plants look like it might have hit, and that little tree over there did sprout. I haven't been out here in a few days just because I've been so busy running around working. But the onion we forgot to plant, that one's growing good. Blueberries are hanging in there. The grapes are sprouting. I'm still haven't seen nothing on that cherry tree. That one just started sprouting the other day. Those haven't made any progress. Another blueberry. Tomatoes, they're getting a little yellow. I'm not sure if that's from the cold, but there is dark green growth on top of them. As you can see, this one grape is sprouted. That one has sprouted. I believe it's a peach right there. That back one hasn't done anything yet. The other things I got from the Tractor Supply are doing well. These are still growing pretty slow, but they're growing. The gooseberry's doing good. The pink lemonade, blueberry's still growing. I forget what those other two are. This one's sprouted. This one's got sprouts coming on it. These are already covered in leaves. That one back there hasn't done anything yet. These look like they're trying to sprout right here, these three. The bulbs that we planted, I think those just got frozen and are no good now, so I'm going to empty those eventually. The raspberries back there are doing good. These are two more plum trees. One of them's got growth on it. This has got growth on it. The other raspberry back there's got growth on it. This one is starting to sprout. This one's got leaves on it. Those two back there are sprouting, and I think these two are just dead. And I haven't seen anything yet on this one. But as you can see, just about everything I've got in here is doing pretty well for a slap together. I think I got $40 into this greenhouse, plus a bunch of scrap materials. The beans and the peas are doing all right. They're reaching, starting to lean over the sides here, which is why I put them up on top so they had room to grow down. This little tomato plant that I split off is still holding on there. It looks like it's got some new growth. But yeah, that's about it. I've just been doing so much, working every day now. Between 8 and 10 hour days on my days off from my main job, and then my main job I'm working 8 hours plus 2 hours of driving a day. So as you can imagine, I don't have a lot of time to do a whole lot. But we're still plugging away. We're not stopping. We're not giving up or anything. We're just not moving as fast as we were. What else is there? Our plum tree out back here is still doing pretty decent. Probably not this week or the next week, but the following week might try and get another tree. Not sure exactly what. I gotta look around and see if I can find them a little bit cheaper. There's a place in town, I just seen that they put out a bunch of them. But almost every branch in here's got leaves on it, or starting to have leaves on it. Actually, I think every branch does have a leaf on it at least. So that's holding in there pretty good. I gotta get some manure to put around it when I get some more. As you can see, the children are playing in the sand. But yeah, the grass, filled in halfway decent. Definitely has to be seeded again. Still waiting on the septic clean out because we don't have water. The potato plants over here, those died back pretty good, but most of them look like they came back. If anybody's wondering, I put this here for a squirrel feeder. But yeah, like I said, these last few rows that I put in here, I think I lost 2. I think the chickens aren't helping either. The ducks reached in and grabbed all the green onions that I had planted in there that they could reach. So yeah, some point in the summertime, this is all going to come out. Water's going to be drained, and I'm going to put a cement in and line that with cement just to hold the water better. Just because, we've only filled it up once. The rest of it's just been going up and down about 6 to 8 inches depending on the rain. But closer to summer we get, it's just going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping. But I want to set up a little filtration system on there because that water is getting pretty funky. But it doesn't seem to bother them. They're still playing in it and splashing around. So that's another project. Some of the smaller rocks we're going to use in the fireplace area, and when we do that, we're gonna cement the floor, and then we're just gonna lay some nice rocks in there, and then we might gloss them before we do that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, I can do the floor on half the house right now. I just have to finish the footings on the back pole, the back spots where the other pillars would be, so I can set cinder blocks and run a support along the back there. The front's going to be probably doubled up 2x12s, and I believe 1x4 or a 2x4 on top. I got to check my measurements just to be sure, but and it'll be shimmed to level, so that will definitely support it. Plus, it's like I said, it's going to be anchored to the house, and then I'll run something along the back here on top of some cinder blocks and give it a little extra support. But I can't really do anything to that fireplace area because I'm going to be extending that wall halfway through this piece of glass and making the fireplace area bigger because I have to accommodate a bigger wood stove. Since I'm doubling the size of the house, I definitely have to double the size of the stove capacity. So I'm going to extend that out and run sheetrock and do it all right. They just turned the drywall around and called it a day. And like I said, they had all the bricks just sitting on carpet, and it was just a moldy mess. But it is all cleaned out and gutted and dried up now. So that's my next project. If I can get a couple 2x12s, I can at least get those in place and start on running more boards for the floor. It'll be, like I said, 1 or 2 boards at a time, but hey, it's progress. As long as I get this up by the end of winter. I'm still trying to figure out what to do about this roof. I'm contemplating just adding on to what's here and just going over top of it, but I just don't know at this point. I know I have to take that little bit of overhang off because I have to build the walls there, and I have to raise the walls up just so I have the height that I need. I believe on these end walls it's only like 6.5 foot tall, maybe 7, and I want an 8-foot ceiling, at least in the addition. I can deal with the peak on the inside if it'll hold, but I don't know. Right now I'm gonna work on the floor and getting the foundation finished, and then we'll go from there. Our tank is half empty at the moment, so we're still trying to figure out what to do about water. Like I said, I did pick up a big pile of scrap from work the other day, so I attempted to run a cable for the dog, and he snapped the cable in half. So I'm thinking of something else for them. He doesn't like being on a cable, but until the yard is completely fenced in, there's not much I can do. At some point I need to make it out here and cut this wood pile up. So I'll talk to you guys later and keep in touch. Let me know what you guys think about a couple things that I just talked about, and give me some ideas, advice, pros and cons, whatever you got for me. Nothing too negative isn't gonna help in some way or another. Make a decision for me. But yeah, so that's it for today. It's going off grid my way. I figure I've been talking for almost 20 minutes. You guys are probably bored and over it already. But it's one of my longest videos, so I'll talk to y'all later.